The multiverse just expanded. MissedThePart Productions is now on Ko-fi, our new hub where you can help build universes. Pay what you want for custom what-if stories, fund new series, collect signed storylines, and unlock exclusive rewards. Every coffee fuels the multiverse. Angel Grove was supposed to be safe. It had faced alien warlords, space witches, and biomechanical kaiju, but always, the Power Rangers had been there to stop it. Always, they had won. Until now. It started like background noise, a lab break-in at a private energy firm just outside the city, a power spike detected in the Morphin Grid, a missing security team, and then silence. No monsters. No threats. Just a growing unnatural stillness. Zordon's voice, normally a beacon of calm authority, had turned cold with concern. Alpha, scan the western perimeter. There is a disturbance in the grid. Faint but spreading. By the time the Rangers arrived at the site, a research facility funded by Promethea, the same company experimenting with morph-adjacent energy, everyone inside was already gone. Not missing, just gone. Papers still on desks, coffee still warm, no signs of struggle, until they reached the sub-level. There they found them, bodies, but not dead, not quite, twitching, faces pale, veins glowing faint blue under the skin, like the Morphin Grid had been poured in too fast, too hot, and then they stood. They didn't scream, they didn't speak, they just charged. Billy barely managed to override the elevator before one of them slammed into the doors, cracking the steel with unnatural force. The Rangers escaped, but something followed. In the days that followed, Angel Grove unraveled like loose thread. It wasn't an outbreak. It was a mutation of the Morphin Grid itself. Weaponized, corrupted, spreading through Ranger-connected energy signatures. The infected moved silently, their minds hollowed out, bodies guided by grid residue. Then it happened. The Yellow Ranger, Trini, didn't check in. Zack went to find her. Neither came back. A day later, Jason saw them on a security cam. They were walking side by side, still suited up, still morphing. But their visors were cracked, their suits flickered like static, and their movements. They weren't Rangers anymore. Now, only Jason, Kimberly, and Billy remain. Zordon's tube is dark. Alpha 5's last transmission was a corrupted loop, and the Morphin Grid, flickering like a dying heartbeat. Whatever this is, it doesn't want to kill the Power Rangers. It wants to become them, and it's already halfway there. The sky above Angel Grove was red, not from sunset, not from pollution, but from fire. Entire city blocks were burning, some from accidental explosions, others deliberately lit by terrified civilians, trying to hold back the infected with smoke and heat. It didn't matter. Fire didn't stop them. Nothing did. Jason stood alone on a rooftop, overlooking the chaos, helmet under one arm. The Red Ranger's armor was scratched and smeared with ash, and something darker. In the distance, the old clock tower collapsed, sending sparks and debris into the smoke-choked air. Behind him, Kimberly knelt over a makeshift radio, trying to raise anyone. Billy was hunched over a Ranger scanner, muttering calculations to himself, his eyes sunken and twitching with panic. No response. Not from Zordon. Not from Alpha. Not even from the other Ranger teams. If they were out there, they were either compromised or already gone. Jason's voice was low, guttural. I saw Trini. Her morph was flickering like a dying sparkler. She wasn't even looking at me, just standing there, like she was waiting for a command. Billy shook his head. It's the Morphin Grid. Whatever this virus is, it's not biological, it's symbiotic. It's feeding off their connection to the grid, using their Ranger forms as shells. That's why they're still suited up. Kimberly's voice cracked as she adjusted the radio. "So what do we do? Put them down like monsters?" No one answered, because deep down they all knew that might be the only option. The infected weren't like zombies from the movies. They didn't moan. They didn't rot. They moved with cold, terrifying precision, like puppets on strings. The city's emergency services were gone. Entire districts offline. Promethea Tower, the facility that had started this, was now surrounded by a growing swarm of grid-corrupted rangers. Not just Trini and Zack, but more. People in morph suits they didn't recognize, rangers from other teams, from other eras. Somehow the virus was reaching across time. Jason dropped his helmet. It clattered across the rooftop. We end this now. We go to the tower, we find the source, and we stop it. Billy looked up from his scanner. And what if the source is one of us? Jason didn't blink. Then we finished the mission. Later that night, they broke into the Promethea Tower. The lobby was dead quiet. Ranger helmets littered the floor, green, blue, black, all empty. A long smear of blood led to a shattered morphing pedestal. In the center of the room, something pulsed, a reactor tied to the grid, feeding from it. Jason raised his blaster, but it was already too late. From the shadows, Trini stepped forward, still morphed, still glowing. Her visor cracked open in a slow, spreading fracture, and behind her, Zack, Rocky, even Tommy, grid-infected. One by one, they ignited their morphers, not with a call, but with a pulse, like breathing. Jason whispered, broken. They're not even in there anymore. Billy clenched his fists, blinking away tears. No, they are. That's what makes it worse. Kimberly drew her bow. So what now? Jason stepped forward, eyes burning red beneath the city firelight. Now, we do what Rangers are meant to do. We protect what's left. The descent into the heart of Promethea Tower felt like falling into a grave. Jason led the way, blaster raised, each floor darker than the last. The deeper they went, the more the building warped. Glass melted along the walls like ice, as if heat and energy had pulsed through the very bones of the structure. Electricity flickered in pulses, mimicking a heartbeat, and the pulse was getting faster. Billy's scanner failed 3 floors down. The screen glitched, showing static. Then briefly, Zordon's face, distorted and stretched. "That wasn't me," Billy whispered. "That wasn't him. The Morphin Grid wasn't broken. It was infected. And now it was lying." They entered the main server vault, a place once used to house morph data, relics from other Ranger teams, even alternate tech from worlds they'd never explored. Promethea had been experimenting with time compression, with memory duplication, with resurrection. And that's where they found him. Tommy, the Green Ranger, not infected, not yet, strapped to a chair. Wires plugged into his neck, veins glowing pale green, his skin grayed, like the grid itself was slowly erasing him. "He's alive," Kimberly gasped, rushing to him. Jason hesitated. This wasn't right, something felt wrong. Billy scanned him, eyes wide. They're using him, his connection to the grid. He was the strongest Ranger. They're amplifying the infection through his energy signature. Tommy's eyes opened, but he wasn't looking at them. He was looking through them. They're already inside. It happened fast. The lights blew out. From the walls, vents, floors, they came. Grid-infected Rangers. Silent. Empty. Moving like one. Kimberly screamed. A figure dropped from above. Zack, his helmet shattered, jaw twisted in a permanent grin. He tackled her. Jason fired. Too late. She vanished under the swarm. Jason fought back, screaming her name, dragging Billy toward the exit as he unloaded round after round into the infected suits. It didn't matter. Nothing stopped them. They just got up. Tommy broke free of his chair, but instead of attacking, he stood between them and the others. "Run." His voice was hollow, barely human. "If the grid takes me, I'll take them with me." And then he activated his morpher one last time. The building erupted. Later, Jason and Billy escaped into the sewer system, scorched and bleeding. Kimberly was gone. Tommy was gone. The tower was smoldering, but the grid was still active. Billy collapsed against the wall, shaking. It's not over. It's never over. It's feeding on everything now. Every suit, every team. Jason dropped his helmet, eyes burning with grief. Then we end it. Not with weapons, with the only thing it can't predict. Billy looked up, confused. "What's that?" Jason stood, face set. A choice. The final hours of Angel Grove were not marked by screams, only silence. Whole city blocks stood still beneath a red-tinted sky, broken only by the quiet shuffle of infected rangers patrolling like ghosts. Their suits glowed faintly, corrupted by the grid's sickening pulse, feeding from something deeper than code, feeding from memory. In the charred ruins of an old command center outpost, Jason stared into a cracked morphing panel. His reflection split into 1,000 broken versions of himself. Kimberly, Trini, Zack, Tommy. They were stronger than me. Billy didn't answer. His hands trembled as he tried reactivating a corrupted signal node. No power coins. No zords. No allies left. What remained of the grid had been swallowed by the virus, now rooted in the earth, like a disease in the soil. But Jason had one thing left, a fragment of his power coin, buried deep within the armor he refused to remove. "I'm going back in," Jason said. Billy snapped to him, panic rising. "You won't make it! The core's in the dead zone. It's not just Rangers down there now. The grid's growing something. It's rewriting reality around itself." Jason strapped the broken morpher to his wrist, locking it in with duct tape and raw defiance. That's why it ends with me. The core of Promethea Tower was gone. In its place was a glowing wound in the world, a pulsing nexus of red and green light, where corrupted rangers stood frozen like statues, fused to the walls. In the center hovered a figure. Not Tommy, not human, a chimera. Built from dozens of suits, corrupted coins, shattered visors. It wore Jason's helmet, stolen from a fallen Red Ranger, stitched with black veins and flickering light. It had no voice. It didn't need one. It was the grid now, and it remembered every morph, every battle, every ranger. Jason stepped forward, alone. "You took everything from me." The chimera spread its limbs, mimicking a fighting stance, a grotesque echo of the morphing call. Jason activated the fragment on his wrist. Tyrannosaurus. The red light flickered. Not clean, not pure, but real. And for the first time since the outbreak began, something fought back. The battle was unlike anything before. Jason's strikes landed with the force of memory, flashbacks of every ranger that came before him driving each punch. Tommy's sacrifice, Kimberly's courage, Trini's wisdom, Zack's loyalty. He fought for them all. But the grid fought back, and when it shattered his morpher, when the red light blinked out for the final time, Jason tackled the chimera into the core itself. The reactor collapsed inward, imploding not just space, but memory. The very concept of infection erased in a flash of blinding white. Somewhere, far outside of time, a voice speaks. Red, always red, first to rise, last to fall. It's Zordon's voice, or something like it. The Morphin Grid is quiet now, empty, reset. In a quiet part of the universe, a child finds a red coin buried in the soil of a far-off world. They pick it up. It hums softly and vanishes. A darkened screen, a metallic breathing sound, a lab dimly lit. Monitors flicker, reading corrupted data streams. One monitor displays a helmet, black and gold, cracked. Another displays the phrase, recovered from alternate dimension. Subject 001, Dr. Isaac Kane. Below it, Project Morbius. A silhouette steps into frame, familiar armor, red visor, not Jason, but something else. Let's try again. The multiverse just opened a new gateway. MissedThePart Productions is now on Ko-fi, our official hub where you help fund and shape new universes. Pay what you want, commission custom what-ifs, support the production fund, join the creative circle, support expand the multiverse.